Hello everybody, this is Dallas at Camosun Sheet Metal. This is a quick video on how to turn on, how to calibrate, and how to upload or import a cut file. This will be a cut file that's already in the program that's already nested. So let's start, okay? First things first, we'll power the machine on. First thing we're gonna power on is the plasma cutter itself, okay? Plasma cutter goes on. Right next to the plasma cutter is the AccuMove. So this is kind of like the brain that communicates with the computer. And then lastly, we're gonna come over here to the screen and we're gonna press the on button there. Gonna turn that on, okay? It's gonna take a second for this to boot up. And while it does that, let's talk about some other things. So we can see that we have some aluminum sheet down here. And this aluminum sheet's put down because this is a water table, and without the aluminum sheet, everything's going to evaporate over a couple months, everything out of the table. And we actually have a green liquid that's poured in with the water at a certain ratio as per the bottle specifications, and that green liquid helps keep the smoke down. So that's one thing that we're gonna have to either fully remove, depending on the size of the sheet, or partly slide towards the back just to make room for whatever it is that we're cutting. And then of course, at the end of the day, we're gonna make sure we cover that back up, okay? So in that time it took me to tell you that, this has opened up here. So this is our main control interface. It's all touchscreen, it runs on Windows, okay? I'm not gonna go over all the safety stuff. This video is being put together for you as if I've already taught you all the safety stuff on the plasma cutter, and this is just to refresh you on how to turn it on and select the job and go from there. So, okay, the order of operation of what we do next doesn't really matter. I'm gonna start with selecting the job. So I'm gonna go to the upper right and I'm gonna press select job. And it's gonna open up this window, and you can see in here there's a whole bunch of jobs that have already been nested. And for the 4th years, we're doing a flat back elbow. And we see right up at the top, we have flat back elbow 2025 Mark II. I'll actually delete this other one here. I just haven't got around to it yet, but 2025 Mark II is the one that you want. We'll select that and we can see a little window pops up. It shows us our nested pieces. Then we'll just press OK. All right, so it's in, believe me. If you don't believe me, go from process setup to graphics and it's gonna show you our nested parts, okay? Let's go back to process setup. We're going to confirm a few things. We're going to confirm that our material thickness is correct, 0.060, mild steel. Okay, don't worry about the PSI, that's predetermined. Everything else should be okay. Now, to actually get this thing ready to cut, we got to do a couple steps here. So what we're going to do is, first things first, is we're going to find the datum point. So what the datum point is this arm goes at X and Y and Z, so forward, back, side to side, and then the actual cutting torch goes up and down. So we need to home that. Right now it doesn't know where it is. When you power it down, it forgets its location. When we power it back up, we have to rehome it. We're gonna do that by hitting datum. Okay, that's gonna move over all the way and come towards us. Okay, lovely. So it's homed itself. It knows where it is now, and that's good. Okay, so let's hypothetically say I'm going to cut one of these plates down here. First thing you can do is if this arm's in your way from you getting the sheet on, you can literally go over to here and you can move that arm over. And what's cool is if I touch towards the bottom of the arrow and drag up, oh hello, we can see it move slowly. But as I drag my finger up, you'll hear it audibly. It moves faster, which is kind of cool. So we'll move that over, say somewhere around there. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna grab this plate and we're gonna pretend we're gonna cut this, okay? So we're gonna put the plate right there, okay? So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna select the piece or plate origin. Okay, hear me out. Now we need to go to plate setup. Plate setup is right here. Okay, this window's gonna pop up, and actually let's backtrack. Let's close that for a second. I forgot to do something. Right now it's on active run, so if I hit run job and everything's hooked up properly, it's actually gonna cut it. I'm gonna hit the active run button. It's going to say dry run, and I'm going to hit laser. Okay, so that's going to turn the laser on. Now, I got ahead of myself. Now we're going to go back to plate setup. This will pop open, and what we're going to do is we're going to take that laser with these arrows, and we're going to send that over so it aligns right here. So let's see if we can make that happen. All right, send that over. Okay, send that down. Okay, I usually leave myself about 3/8 of an inch over and about 3/8 of an inch up. That seems to be pretty good. And cool, that's neat. So now we've taken that datum point that was here and we've selected a new one, so to speak. We've selected the plate origin. So it knows like on the machine where our sheet that we've nested actually is. And notice I'm lining that with the bottom left corner. Not the bottom right corner, not the upper right corner, bottom left. That's really important. Once that is done, what we're gonna do is we're gonna set plate origin. Okay, so once we do that, that's where it's gonna live now. Okay, so let's pretend, let's close that out. Okay, let's pretend I've put my piece down to cut the flat back elbow. So let's take that plate off, and let's just hypothetically pretend that my piece of 16 gauge cold rolls down. What I can do is I can do a dry run. Okay, it's set to dry run, the laser's on, and when I run job, this is gonna go and run through the job without cutting. It's gonna, oh, what happened? What happened here? It stopped. Oh no. Okay, so let's talk about that, all right? It said limit exceeded. Oh, this is a bad problem. Well, it's a good thing that we're doing this, and I kind of purposely did that just so you know if this happens to you, how to fix it. So what this has done is, you see my blue line here? There's a blue line horizontally, and there's a blue line vertically next to that white one. And we're being shown the bed of the plasma cutter. And we can see that my piece has been put outside of that constraint, okay? So we've tried to cut our companion flanges, and my sheet is too far over, is what that looks like, okay? So let's fix that. So let's go back to plate setup, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pretend my piece is right here. So I have a 48-inch long piece by 20 inches. That's the cut size for a flat back elbow. And I'm just gonna go and change the origin, okay? You can actually hit 2 at once, I think. Yeah, there we go. Okay, somewhere around there. I'm gonna reset plate origin, close, and now we can see, and there's a way to do this, zoom to machine, that's okay, there we go. So now that we've zoomed to the machine, we can see the blue square. We can see that we're inside of that now. So before we were outside of that with our plate origin, now we're within it, and we know that we're actually gonna be able to cut this. Making sense? Good. Okay, dry run, run job. This time, we should have plenty of room, and it's gonna go and it's gonna run that job. Okay, neato. Making sense? All right, so stop. Let's say I want to actually run the job. No, I'm not going to. I don't want to waste the material. Let's reset, okay? And I can go to active run. I could run the job and actually cut my pieces now. If I notice that maybe my cut quality isn't good or things like that, we can, in plate setup, we can override the feed rate. So meaning we can override how fast it cuts. If it's cutting too fast, it might not cut all the way through our material. If it's cutting too slow, we're gonna get a really poor quality cut with a lot of dross on the backside. So that can be done here. I know we see it here, but this ignore that. If this is cutting and we adjust this on the fly, it will eventually slow it down, but it's delayed. So you wanna do that in plate setup, adjust that, close this window, and you're good to go, okay? So that's pretty much that. That's what I can tell you. So other things to keep in mind are our curtains here. We want to make sure that we put our curtain right tight to the machine. The water with the air pressure blows back, and as you can see, the floor gets pretty wet. So even though we have the water in there, there is still a substantial amount of smoke that, well, I'm not gonna say substantial. I've been around plasma cutters that have not had proper ventilation. The water with that green liquid does a really good job. However, we have the droid right here, our smoke eater, so it's good to bring that over and extract from there, just as a secondary means of, well, I guess primary means of ventilation, because there is no ventilation otherwise, okay? There we go. If you have any questions, ask your instructor. All right, bye-bye.